Welcome back to Of the Comics. Thank you so much. I am Morgan J. I'm the MC. Give it up for Chris and Armando over here. Show them some love. And I want to start off with something easy. You know, we were in the green room having a really nice discussion, really fun discussion, but we're going to keep it simple right now. I want to start with Chris. Chris, you know, you're doing the freestyle raps. I don't want to say this, but you don't look like a rapper, a traditional rapper. How did you go to incorporate the music and the comedy and the freestyle into your act? How did you get that in there?
So I was rapping. What I say on stage is true. I started rapping when I was 12. Just because I loved it. I was listening to it. I was like, this is really fun.
Just like Jay-Z and the Marcy Projects, right?
Exactly, yeah. And I was like, this is really fun. Then I started doing stand-up when I was 19, and I never thought of combining the two because I just thought of them as separate things. Like, I'd never seen anyone do, like, comedy and rap, like, in shows that I'd seen. So I was like, oh, that's not a thing you can do. And then when I started hosting, like, kids' comedy shows, kids are really hard to make laugh. They don't like jokes. Like, you do a funny joke, and they're like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I had to impress them somehow. So what I'd do is I'd like just rap for them. I'd be like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a race car driver. You're like, cool, this is a rap about Tommy the race car driver.
Yeah.
And a critic who hated my comedy, thought I was rubbish, was like, you know, that's quite good. If you did that, you could be a comedian.
Wow.
And so I started doing it in like, you know, comedy shows for adults, and they like it even more than children.
What was like the... What was the because that's how what was the first show like? Same question to you, Armando. Like, how did you incorporate it into your act?
I was a classical violinist, and then I needed a challenge, so I started stand-up. Because it's not my first language. And so I took a stand-up class, and for like few months I was doing just straight stand-up. And then my coach, he said, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm a classical violinist. He said, you're a classical violinist? Bring the violin. Yeah. And I was like, how are we going to make that funny?
Yeah. No, so, it's great. Well, let me ask you this, because I was doing stand-up for about 5 or 6 years. I had a couple of opportunities. I was doing straight jokes, straight stand-ups, and I kind of creatively was not feeling it. And then I was playing guitar for my friends, kind of making fun of people, messing around at home. And they were like, you should do... It feels like somebody all told us, like, no, you should do that.
I used to look down on musical comedians.
Oh, yeah. Everybody does.
When Pat asked me to do this show, he was like, do the musical comedy showcase. I was like, I'm not a musical comedian.
Yeah.
But like, I used to, like, the saying among comedians was if you had a guitar, it was called a 6-string applause machine.
Oh, yeah.
Because the idea was you could just finish a song and people would clap.
Absolutely.
And people were like, why don't they just write a funny joke? And then you start doing it and you realize... Oh,
it's a bit harder than that.
You have to write the jokes, your songs are full of like really good observations and jokes that if you did them without a guitar would still be funny. But then you combine it, and it's that it kind of comes together, and people are like, "Oh, that's even more fun."
Did you guys have the experience of when you first? Because when I first started incorporating it into my act, because I sang alone for myself. I didn't think I had a voice like Beyonce or anything like that. But I would like shake on stage with the guitar. I mean, obviously I don't do that now. I mean, I'm not getting standing ovations, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm doing okay. But
this would be really fun if we edit this so that there's no standing ovation, and Morgan just has this chip on his shoulder.
People keep getting standing ovations, and it's not me. Okay?
It's funny that he's the one standing up for that as well.
Listen. I will.
He's trying to do that kind of like, you know, CBT to make you all do it.
I have a question for you.
Go on. Sorry, Morgan. You've also had your job stolen now.
Yeah, that's correct. Do you think you're more of a rapper or a comedian?
I think. No, I'm definitely.
It's a very good question.
I get that all the time.
Yeah,
music.
I am a comedian who raps. Because people sometimes go, why don't you release an album? Like, because it would be so bad. It would be so. If I I make it up. Yeah. If I wrote something, what am I going to rap about? Like, have a loving wife, a nice apartment, and a child who loves me.
Yeah.
Like,
this is going to be rapping about
get standing ovations.
No, his only struggle is the no chin. You know what I mean? It's like 10 tracks about the struggle. I got no chin in the streets out here. You know.
But do you find it hard to? Because I find it hard to incorporate sometimes the instrument into the comedy.
Yeah.
Like,
well.
Because you do songs, that's different, but it's like...
Yeah, I mean, when I was doing stand-up for a while, and then there was like 2 or 3 years into the writing of the songs, I notice people really like the interaction. Just the same way I'm learning that people like to feel a part of the show. So no matter what we do, when you go home, it feels like it feels like a unique and a special experience. Like we're all gonna go home and like it's part of our our history, and so like, what do you think makes us stand apart from normal stand-up comedy? Because I know when we walk into a venue, we get looks from our fellow comics. They're like, "What are you doing? Oh, here we go."
That's right. I wrote the talent joke just for that, man.
Exactly.
They
right?
hate us.
You have to acknowledge it. Yeah.
We have. I walk with a violin, and people are like, "Why the heck does he has a violin?" So I have to address that. I have to make it funny. I find it simpler to just walk on stage without the violin, but I want to use the violin.
Yeah.
What sets us apart? I still think it's the same though. It's still, you don't feel like you're a variety act on the show. I don't think, like, I do stand-up gigs, and like when I'm on stage, say I'm doing like a longer set, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I'm not doing rap the whole time. I'm telling jokes. And so what's fun for me is to do 20 minutes of jokes, and the audience will be laughing like, this is really fun. And then I go, and also I rap. And people go, ha, what a good joke. And then you do it, and like the highest compliment for me, and like the highest compliment is when people go, "Oh, we liked you," and then you did the rap, and it was even more amazing. Sometimes people go, "I liked you until you rapped."
Yeah. Right. Interesting. Yeah. When you look at like influences, right? Because we get these questions: who are your favorite comedians? Who are your favorite acts that you follow? Do you guys look towards musicians more than you would like to a traditional stand-up? Are you looking at like MCs, like rappers? Are you looking, is Mozart, your comedic influence? Or
He's hilarious, man. You should listen. He's great.
No, but like when you look at influences, like who do you kind of look up to, or who are you kind of looking at?
In stand-up?
In stand-up, well, that's the thing, right? Are we looking at musicians, or are we looking at... Because I like R&B music. I listen to a lot of R&B music, and I vibe with that, and I let that inform my act a little bit. So I don't know about you guys.
I listen any kind, but mainly classical. I live in the Baroque time.
Oh, yeah?
That's the problem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
It's not going to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm much more influenced by stand-up, because like that's what you're influenced by what you're around, and every night we're at comedy clubs.
Sure.
And so I'm watching everyone else do stand-up, and I'm going, oh, I wish it could be as funny as them. And that's like, the goal is to be really funny, and it's how you get there. It doesn't really matter, right? Whether you're doing...
Yeah, we were in the green room just talking about how we kind of wish we were stand-ups, like straight stand-ups, because then we wouldn't have to get here like an hour or two before the show. You don't understand. We have to get here way before every other act on a lineup.
You have to fly with a guitar.
You have to fly with a guitar.
You have to tune the instrument.
You have to tune. You have to like. He was having a nightmare with the feedback and the audio, and you have to make sure the beat and the levels are right, and it's really hard. And honestly, I think a lot of us deserve a standing ovation, is what I'm saying. So it's just that.
Not gonna let it go.
It's just that we're working really